Hello.
Oh, look at all of these beautiful women coming in today.
Love it. Love it. Hi, everyone. Oh, Elisabeth,
Hi.
I like what you're doing with with the bang.
Thank you. Erin saw me earlier and she's like, that's not what she looked like before, but I had to look good. This is the style class, right? I wanted to put my best foot forward, and I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot today. Hi, everyone. Oh, we have the Gretchen Heischken, CEO of Trades of Hope, here today. Well, I want to be super mindful of everyone's time, so I'm going to go ahead. Um, and slowly get started. I'm sure there will be people who will continue jumping in. Um, Hello. Amazing. Well, if I have not had the pleasure of meeting you yet, my name is Elisabeth Heischkens, and I am one of the co-founders of Trades of Hope. And I'm so excited to gather with all of you amazing women, whether we've met yet or not. I just already know if you know someone connected to Trades of Hope, you are an amazing woman. If you got here, you are incredible. And so it's such an honor to share this space with you. And of course, I'm going to be learning alongside you today, but also I'm really excited because honestly, style is something that is so close to the heartbeat of Trades of Hope. If you're here, you've probably heard of Trades of Hope before, but just in case you haven't, Trades of Hope exists to create job opportunities so that mothers can lead their families out of extreme poverty and out of human trafficking. So, what does this have to do with style? Why are we putting on a style event? There are a lot of ways that people can alleviate poverty and human trafficking. I think we do it in the most fun way. We use style as a vehicle to tangibly and directly alleviate poverty and human trafficking. Some people alleviate poverty with the law, with medical care, with politics, and we do it by using fashion as a force for good. And if you're thinking, that doesn't sound nearly as important or effective as using law or medicine, let me see if I can change your mind with one short story. So, when I was just 5 years old, my mom, the Gretchen Heischkens, who we are honored to have in the room here tonight, she started an orphanage in Haiti. And this came off the back of starting adoption processes, seeing really corrupt orphanages, literally orphanages that were not feeding the children in the orphanage, literally locking up supplies, withholding things from children, abusing children. And she was like, I've never done this before, but I know I can do it better than the way that it's being done right now. So this not only touched so many children's lives, but put me on a trajectory. And I grew up so much, spending so much of my childhood in that orphanage. And I saw so many situations in which moms are literally trembling as they're saying goodbye to their babies forever. Because oftentimes we think of orphanages, we think of houses with kids who don't have any parents. Like they were lost tragically, and that's simply not the case. 4 to 5 orphans around the world have living relatives. I also played with kids in desperate attempts to distract them because they were missing their parents. This orphanage was giving above and beyond care, but seeing mothers who loved their babies give them up simply because they couldn't afford to take care of them felt so, so unjust. And I remember talking with my mom one day, and she said something that would change both of our lives and the lives of thousands of people to follow forever. And she said, "You know what? This orphanage has been going on for almost a decade. So many children have been welcomed into loving families, and yet the community around our walls is still steeped in poverty. Like that doesn't feel right." And I will never forget that conversation. It was pivotal, and it ignited in us both a fire to create job opportunities so that mothers could keep their children, so they could break cycles of poverty and rise out of slums and human trafficking with dignity, because they don't want charity, they just want an opportunity. And today, Trades of Hope offers high quality fashion accessories ethically made by these women so they can keep their children, alleviate poverty for generations, feed and send their kids to school and be safe from human trafficking. This is what we mean when we say fashion is a force for good. This is how style can be used to alleviate poverties in ways that lawmakers, uh, medical professionals, they simply can't create that sustainable job creation. We are a movement of everyday women linking arms with mothers around the world. And actually, the women in our free partner program, or Hope Girls, as I lovingly call them, earn up to 25% back on every artisanal design they sell as a thank you for literally changing the life of the woman who made each piece, for using fashion as a force for good to end poverty and human trafficking. That is how style is changing the world. And that is how style and making a difference is so interwoven. And it's why Trades of Hope is hosting a free style class for you today. I have the honor of introducing to you Trades of Hope partner, Hope Girl, and stylist Erin Woods. She's going to guide us in how we can go from feeling tired to inspired, how we can reignite our sparks by rediscovering our style as she begins to take the virtual center stage. Let Erin and I know in the chat what is something that's helped you feel refreshed or recharged before, because we've all felt those slumps. Maybe it's taking a bath. Maybe it's honestly coffee. That's the daily one for me. What has made you feel re-energized, re-inspired, recharged in the past? We'd love to know and just learn a little bit about you.
Ooh, vacations. Yes, Megan. Oh my gosh. I just got back from an amazing spring break vacation, and my husband and I are definitely like feeling the post-vacation slump today. We're like, real life is not as good as vacation. I feel you on that one. Hi, is it my turn? So I guess I saw vacations and I jumped.
Go for
Thank you
it.
so
We're
much.
all so
Yeah.
excited.
Thank you, Elisabeth, for that introduction. Hi, everyone. My name is Erin Woods. Thank you for joining us live. Thank you for watching the replay. I have had the honor of being a partner for the last 12 years. I just celebrated my 12th Hope anniversary like a week ago. And I'm so grateful whenever I hear Elisabeth and Gretchen share about kind of those founding moments, those light bulbs and ahas of like, hey, we can do something better. And I'm just so grateful always because it has truly changed my life, being a part of Trades of Hope. But we are here to talk about kind of give you some practical things tonight because we all love Trades of Hope, but we're going to talk about kind of like daily life and the struggle it might be to get dressed. I don't know about you. Oh, I'm going to start my beautiful slideshow. Is that okay? Can I start my slideshow? I did. I made it, so I feel like we should use it. All right, let's get this going because I do love a slideshow. So we're here tonight because we might be feeling tired and we want to feel inspired. So you might have seen the title of this. We worked on the title of this workshop a lot, just kind of like how do we get across like something that we probably all really feel without being kind of a downer, but like that has a good end result that might even be like immediately fixable. Something that you can take action and do literally like tonight when you get off this call. Because I don't know about you, but like we definitely can probably all agree that we live in kind of an exhausting, super busy world. I don't know a woman that is just like, oh my gosh, I'm so relaxed and I have so much free time all the time. So if you agree that you're busy most of the time, or maybe you even feel overwhelmed, or that like your daily life is a lot, drop something in the chat, like affirm this, so we can all kind of say like, yeah, sometimes I am overwhelmed by my day. Sometimes I feel stuck. Sometimes maybe I feel lonely, or disconnected. As busy as we are, and as much as we're like moving about, sometimes we can feel really isolated. So I want to connect on that because I really think that is something we can probably all agree on. And we're all connected in that place. So we're showing up here tonight despite all of that busyness because I've sort of discovered this phenomenon, and it happens a lot with women in Trades of Hope. It's kind of this like-mindedness. Like we are all super busy, involved women with our families and our communities, and we're doing these things and we're talking about how we're busy and maybe feeling overwhelmed. But yet there's something in us that makes us want something more. And it's not just like more stuff to do, it's like more meaningful connection, more contribution, maybe even connected to like the greater good. And this was where I was 12 years ago when I first discovered Trades of Hope. I was in a place of feeling super lonely and disconnected. I had left a teaching career to be home as be a stay-at-home mom with my baby and my toddler. And as busy and kind of overwhelmed and disconnected and lonely as I was in that life, I wanted more. I wanted to contribute. I wanted to do something that felt like what I was doing as a teacher, but even in a bigger scale. And I know that maybe that sounds crazy, but say something in the chat if you're like, yeah, I understand what you're saying, Erin. Like I get that feeling, even despite all my busyness of wanting more. But it actually kind of starts with getting dressed every day, which sounds like almost like simplifying it. It's like you might think, oh, I need to overhaul my whole schedule. I need to figure out, I need to time block. I need to do all these things. No, actually, you just need to put clothes on that make you feel good. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight, because I think sometimes we look at women in the world and think, oh my gosh, they must have like so much more time or so much more access or so much, it's just so much easier for them. But really, like the hacks that I'm going to teach you and the tips that I'm going to teach you tonight are so simple, and they're some of my best tips for just feeling an ease about getting dressed and like making getting dressed just like the thing you don't even think about, because you want to get to that bigger thing that you want to do, that contribution, that purpose, that impact that you want to make. I will say that I have been on a style journey. I mean, some of you maybe relate to this, but I've probably been on a style journey since I was like 8 years old. Definitely like always been interested in getting dressed, but not necessarily because it came easy for me. I think it was because it actually was really, really hard. I struggled a lot with body image issues. I never felt quite right in my clothes or in the situation. And I spent a lot of decades like trying to figure this out. So I'm kind of in like a chapter 100 in terms of like my style journey. And maybe you're in your chapter 1. So I just want to kind of caution you too, as I'm sharing these things and these ideas tonight, to kind of like take it for what it is, for where you are in your style journey, and just trust that you can start wherever you are and make strides towards showing up as the stylish woman that you want to be. It is possible. It is within your grasp. But it takes some work. I've been exploring and learning about personal style literally for decades. But I'm going to give you some actionable things that you can literally start doing tomorrow. So the first thing that I think is just like super, super important, and is a concept that I'm really into. This started to get really popular around 2020 when everybody stopped getting dressed. The idea of enclothed cognition. So drop in the chat if you've ever heard of this concept. But I hear this from women all the time. And sometimes, some days I have to like catch myself, but there's days when I think, okay, and maybe tell me if this is you, no one's going to see me today. That's a big one. Like nobody, I'm not really, I'm going to drive my kids to school. Like nobody's going to see me. I'm not going to leave the house, or I have nothing important, and I'm using air quotes, nothing important to get dressed for. But what if getting dressed changed everything, literally everything about your energy and the way you face your day, no matter what kind of task you have? You are important enough, just you, to get dressed for every day. Even if you are the only one who checks yourself out or smiles at yourself in the mirror or high fives yourself, like Mel Robbins says, give yourself a high five, whatever it is, get dressed for you. It doesn't, who cares if nobody's going to see you? Like, I don't care about anybody else. You are worth getting dressed for every single day. And if that doesn't convince you, there is actually science behind it. So if you're a science person, let me know who's into science. I'm not really a science person, but I am fascinated by the idea of the science of getting dressed. And so enclothed cognition is this phenomenon that illustrates how clothing impacts human cognition based on the co-occurrence of the symbolic meaning of the clothing and the physical wearing of it. So like, what does that mean? So there's been some really interesting studies done about enclosed cognition. One of them I read about was with a group of children. And so they had two groups of kids, like young children, and they had a kind of a challenging set of tasks for these kids to perform, to do. And with one group, they just said, you know, these are kind of hard tasks, but we want you to do your best. So go on into the room and do your best. Those kids went in, some of them tried, they gave up pretty quickly. Some of the self-talk was a little bit negative, like, oh, this is too hard for me, or I'm too little for this, or I don't know how to do this. And then they had another group that they allowed the kids to, before they went into the room, to find a costume to put on of all of their favorite superhero. And so the kids got to go through all these costumes, and they all chose their superhero that they wanted to wear. And then they went into the room and they were told, these are difficult tasks, but you know, do your best. And the difference between the second group of kids and the first group of kids was crazy. The second group of kids, the self-talk was so much better. I can do this. You know, they were pepping themselves up. They were motivated. They tried harder at the tasks. Even without succeeding, they worked longer at it to try to do better. They literally believed in themselves and their ability to make a difference in this task, simply because of the clothing that they were wearing. There's a whole other set of experiments that have to do with a white coat. And this is with adults. So either identifying that white coat as a lab coat and putting that on to participants and the way that they approached problems, versus telling the participants that it was a painter's jacket or a painter's coat, and they went in and approached the tasks in a different way. So there's all this really cool science. If you're really bored, you can go Google enclosed cognition and jump into this. But the idea is that when you get dressed, really dressed for your day, like real pants, maybe put on some makeup, or maybe, you know, brush your hair, put on some earrings, whatever it is, whatever level of getting dressed is like a step up for you. It triggers these cognitive pathways in your brain that enable you and empower you to move into a state of action. And I think that is amazing. And like I said before, you are important enough to get dressed for. So if that's your mindset, like, oh, I'm not doing anything important today. Yes, you are. You are getting up and taking on the world, woman. Like, you are doing your thing. So get dressed for you. Okay, so that's my pitch on why you should get dressed. But maybe the problem is, like, what do I even wear? I don't even know. So how many of you, drop in the comments, have a closet full of clothes and nothing to wear? Is that your problem? Or like, every woman has a situation related to her closet that she is struggling with for the most part. I worked for a few years as a personal stylist, had my own business, and I did many closet edits. And it was always so interesting to walk into a woman's closet and just realize, like, oh, this is what's going on, because there's always something going on in the closet, and there's so much that I could talk about related to what to actually put on your body. But here's three kind of ideas and things that I've really honed and worked on over the years that will hopefully help you. Like I said, style and getting dressed has been one of my hobbies for like literally decades. When I was an English teacher, I taught high school. So I had like this daily runway in my 20s and early 30s of, like, you know, getting dressed to walk in front of a room full, you know, of critical high school kids. And I took that as a challenge and really enjoyed it, and, you know, tried to be like the cute teacher. I was voted like most stylish teacher in the yearbook and stuff like that. And it was really fun. But what I was doing even back then was uniform dressing. So when I look back at like the outfits that I would put together for teaching, it was always kind of the same formula. It was like a pair of jeans, or like casual pants, some kind of like collared shirt, colored blouse, or, you know, sleeveless or with sleeves, and then a cardigan. I know that I didn't know at the time that I was uniform dressing, but I figured it out later when I stopped teaching and I became a stay-at-home mom, because I had a closet with 42 cardigans in it. Like, who needs 42 cardigans? No one. Um, but I knew that that was my uniform. And so every day I could put a combination of those types of clothes together and make an outfit that I felt comfortable enough to walk in front of, you know, hundreds of high school kids every day. So if you have a uniform, you should own it. Uniform dressing is super powerful. You know, if you sit and think, okay, what is like the combination of clothing that I put on more often than anything else? That's your uniform, and that can be a really empowering way to get dressed every day. So if you're struggling with what to wear, figure out your uniform and then go ahead and put that on every day, and as a starting point. But what I also discovered when I realized I had 42 cardigans was that I had a fast fashion problem. Now, it's hard to live in this world and or live in this country and not have a fast fashion problem. Fast fashion is a problem, and we are subjected to it constantly as American women. And when when I first discovered Trades of Hope and I started to understand the connection between the clothing that I was buying and the negative impact that it was having on the women who were making it, and that there was no possible way that this $5 t-shirt was paying a living wage to the woman who made it. And like you're I was like flooded with guilt and shame, and I was like, oh gosh, but I want to release you from that. If that's a place where you are, or you're just at the beginning of learning about what ethical fashion is, it is okay. We like everybody, or the majority of women, have been in that place at some point or are in that place where you overconsume. That's where you get a closet full of clothes and nothing to wear. It's because of the environment of fashion that we live in this modern world. But I would just encourage you to start to slow it down, to recover. There is recovery from this. I am living proof that you can get on the other side of a fast fashion addiction. So a couple of things. If you are feeling exhausted by your closet, like if you walk in and you just feel like I just need to go buy a whole new wardrobe, don't don't buy a whole new wardrobe. The Probably the first most important and dramatic thing that you can do is stop buying clothes. Take a second. Because if you are a shopper and you feel like you need to go, every time like an event is impending, or whatever it is, you have to go buy a whole new outfit for it. That was me. There's something else going on, and if you give yourself a second to slow that down and learn to shop your own closet, I can tell you it is one of the most powerful practices, challenges, exercises, experiments, whatever you want to call it, that you can do for yourself. Gifts, truly, that you can give yourself. And I've done this a few times where I had like a no new clothes for a month. Now, I'm not doing a no buy because I like my accessories, and I'm going to talk about accessories in a second. But no new clothes can be incredibly powerful. Do it for 30 days. Do it for a month. I did it over the summer. I did it again in the fall. I've done it multiple months. And let me tell you, when you start to shop your own closet, it is amazing what you discover. Not only about the clothes that you already have, but about yourself and about the things that you love to wear and the pieces that really make you feel good and make you feel confident. And it removes that like constant need to shop. Just take it off the table and use what you have. And guess what you're doing? You are slowing down your fashion. You are becoming more ethical in your consumerism, and it's just happening by just putting pause on the shopping. And again, it's so much more than just the clothes. It starts to get to a deeper place, where at the end of the challenge, you suddenly feel lighter and freer, and you might want to just keep it going. I have found myself like, I don't even need to go shopping because the moment has passed too. It's like I see something that I think I want and I put it on a wish list instead of buying it. And then at the end of my month, I look at my wish list and I'm like, I don't even really need these things. It's okay. But if I hadn't put myself through that challenge, I might have purchased them. But like I said, no new clothes does not mean no new accessories, because I think that fair trade accessories are some of the most powerful gifts and style impacts that I've given myself over these last 12 years. Because I can wear kind of the uniform, but when I'm changing out the earrings, or I'm putting on a different, arm party, or I'm doing something different with my accessories, it's making a statement about not only the style that I want to project, but the world I want to live in. And I discovered that very quickly with Trades of Hope because I was a super busy mom at that time, but I would put on just like, go to the park clothes or go to the zoo clothes, which is like a t-shirt and shorts and whatever. But then I would put on like amazing earrings. And I was like, oh my gosh, I am doing something incredible in the world. And I'm doing it by just simply putting on these earrings and feeling really great and going out into the world. And knowing that the hands that touch them and the spirit of the mother on the other side of the globe who made them and was maybe putting breakfast on her table or taking her kids to the park or dropping them off at school, like that spirit, even the same feelings of highs and lows throughout her day and my day, there was a connection there through my earrings. And that is not an exaggeration. It is absolutely how I feel, how I have felt for the last 12 years, and why I will never put on a no new accessories challenge to myself, because when I put on my Trades of Hope pieces, it's instant connection to the greater good. Okay, so those are some ideas about why to get dressed, what to wear, and then the total package is then a stylish and confident woman. Now, maybe you're working towards this, but I believe that a stylish and confident woman is an unstoppable force for good. I've been beating this drum for many years now. When I really made the connection between Trades of Hope and the work that we were doing and style and how I show up each day, it just all made sense, and it all opened up for me, because who I want to show up as every day is a stylish and confident woman. But I'm a stylish and confident woman who puts on fair trade earrings and makes an impact. It has that contribution, that thing that I wanted to add to my plate, even though I was so busy. I'm able to connect to, because I'm not wasting time with decision fatigue. I know my uniform. I know the clothes that I love. I've shopped my own closet. I've played in my closet. I've fallen in love with my clothes. I put on my accessories, and I can show up not only for myself, but I can show up for others in my community, in my home, in my world, and then in the world in a profound way, because I am stylish and confident and an unstoppable force for good. And you can be stylish and confident and an unstoppable force for good. They are all deeply connected. Now, again, wherever you are in your journey, just start taking these first steps. There are simple things that you can do right away. Just even changing your mindset about getting dressed each day, embracing that idea of enclothed cognition. That can just be step one for you. But wherever you are, there's something here to dive deeper into. And I hope that makes you excited. So I want to back up just a little bit, because I want to talk about a little bit more of where I was when I started as a partner with Trades of Hope, and kind of where this connection began. I should have worn the earrings that started it all, because as wonderful as these earrings are, I do have really what connected me to Trades of Hope initially was style. It was a cute pair of earrings. I had no idea that they were fair trade, that they were doing any good in the world. I just knew they were cute and I wanted them. And I saw them and I was like, ooh, what are those earrings? And then I saw empowering women out of poverty, and I was like, whoa, okay, that's cool. I need to know more. And like I said, so this picture of me with my lap full of babies, this was me like 2 weeks after I started as a partner with Trades of Hope. My little one was about 8 months old, and my older son, so my little one's Lawson, my older one's Barrett, and Barrett was like three years old. And our days were full, just as they are now, but of different kinds of tasks. There was nothing glamorous about my day at this season of my life. There's really nothing glamorous about my day now. I mean, back then it was diapers and bottles, and now it's making breakfast and driving and driving and driving and driving, and all I'm doing is driving in circles and dropping kids off at places. This is Barrett and Lawson just last week. I was talking about our vacation. We went out west. So now Barrett is 15 and Lawson is almost 13. So I have traveled a long way in these 12 years. But when they were babies, and when I first started as a partner with Trades of Hope, I was still struggling with finding that I don't know, kind of mindset to face those tasks of my day. And a Trades of Hope graphic was posted with the Mother Teresa quote, do small things with great love. And so many people were like, "Oh, well, you have to find joy in your tasks. You have to find joy in your day." And I was like, "I don't know. Joy is not doing it for me, but love I can do. I can put love in this diaper change. I can put love in this load of laundry. I can put love in these dishes. I can put love in these tasks that I know are contributing to the health and wellness of my family. And then I can put love into this Trades of Hope business, these beautiful pair of earrings that now I want to tell people about. I can pour love into all these areas of my life. And in doing that, it all started coming back to me. And so small things with great love became my mantra 12 years ago, and it is how I have lived my life for these past 12 years. And it's all the small things. It's getting dressed, it's putting on the uniform, it's getting the earrings on, it's getting to the beautiful small mundane tasks of my day. It's making a difference. It's sharing about the hands that made the pieces that I'm wearing. It's being that stylish, confident woman who's an unstoppable force for good. It's all small, but it adds up. And it feels so good when it's done with great, great love. So one of the easiest things that I found in my life to make an impact is Trades of Hope. It was an easy thing 12 years ago, and it daily is an easy thing. So I want to invite you to think about that connection. The impact that you get to make when you get dressed, when you put on your fair trade jewelry, your Trades of Hope armor, and get out into the world and as an unstoppable force for good. You are connected with women on every level, in every part of the world, from their day-to-day mundane tasks to their bigger dreams. And there's a sisterhood and a kindred spirit that connects us. And it's amazing. And it kind of miraculously aligns with everything. How did we get from kids dressing up as superheroes and shopping our own closet to making an impact? But I know that it's true because this was me 10 years ago in Haiti, meeting a baby girl named Krishnali, and then minutes later meeting her mom, who was there on this beautiful Monday morning in Haiti for her first day of work. And finding out that the days before, her mom was trying to give her away because she didn't have a job. She was desperate. She was searching for an answer. And she found it in cereal box bead jewelry, in Trades of Hope, in sustainable living wage, fair trade jobs. And it's amazing to me that this is what I get to be a part of. And look at my fashion. Look, I am just like decked out. Like even then I was like, it's all about the earrings. So Elisabeth, I'm gonna toss it back over to you. Because I feel like I've said all the things that I want to say, and I know you want to say some more.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, as I said, I'm just so um grateful for every single woman who came here today who learned from Erin. Thank you, Erin, so much. I mean, I think I wear this cardigan or different colors of this cardigan basically every day. So thank you for that validation. Thank you for those tips. And again, thank you to every single woman who was here because when women gather, incredible things happen. And when women who love their lives, who have very full lives, but who also know, like, I know what's going on around the world. I know that there are women who have the same, like, hearts and desires as me who don't have the same opportunities as me. When women gather and know that they want to make a global impact, they just don't really know how. Guess what? Women figure out the how. Like we make it happen. And Erin is such a beautiful example, and her story is such a beautiful example of really what it means to use fashion as a force for good to make a global impact amongst our everyday lives, our very full lives. I saw so many moms are in here, so many career women are in here right now. And I just have to be super honest with you. At Trades of Hope, we are only able to accomplish what we've been able to accomplish. We have reached tens of thousands of women around the world who were born into cycles of poverty in human trafficking and now are able to feed themselves, their families, put a roof over their families' heads, send their kids to school, save for the future, break cycles of poverty for generations because of women like you, everyday women who are like, I want to care how I get ready in the morning because I want to feel good. I want to feel connected to myself, to other women in my community, and truly to other women around the world. We are looking for 50 women of action, for women who want to be that unstoppable force for good in your families, in your communities, even around the world, for women who want to change the lives of women who need to rise out of poverty and human trafficking, women who want to make a global impact, even though their days are super full. We are looking for 50 women like you this week who are like, you know what? I think I could talk about these beautiful earrings and know that they're helping a woman in Haiti put food on the table. I think that I can talk about this beautiful new bag that's coming out and talk about how a woman in India who was sold as a child bride and abused can now provide for her family with so much dignity and so much strength and so much happiness. If you think you can do that, if that sounds something that would feel fulfilling, that would feel purposeful, that would feel like that full circle moment that Erin was talking about, we are looking for you. We're looking for, again, women of action who want to learn how to do pop ups, how to have hope gatherings that either in person or online events that gather women like us together to shop purposefully. And again, we're looking for 50 women who are like, you know what? I want to give this a try. This sounds like something I can really get behind. And honestly, 22 of those 50 spots have filled already. So we are almost 50% to our goal and only 50% to our goal. We're not just though gonna, let you just jump in and figure it out on your own. We have a whole program for April called our April Hope Girl cohort. And our very top seller of our artisans products, Susan Johnson, she's a homeschooling mom. Her life is super full and she's a top seller. She says all the time there's nothing special about her. She's very special to me, but she says there's nothing special about her. She just is so dedicated to her artisans. She's going to be walking alongside you. So if you're like, I want to earn up to 25% of all of these beautiful things that I sell because I partnered with a woman around the world, she's going to walk alongside you and how to be really effective and really successful, whatever success means to you. There is support opportunities multiple times a week. Every Tuesday in April, we're going to have what we call a Hope Girl Rally. All of the like-minded women are going to come together to be inspired, to be informed, to be celebrated. It's going to be amazing. We have power hours. We're leaders. So many women who are here today. They'll just be able to guide you and answer your questions. We'll be having workshops so that um, you can kind of practice advocating for artisans and get some loving feedback and just feel really supported and clear and confident. We're going to have a purpose passport that in April allows you to get rewarded and even we donate on your behalf when you are learning and taking action. We're looking for 50 of these women, for women who want to learn how to do these things, for women who are like, I want that connection to women around the world, to a purpose bigger than me. I've been feeling very tired. I want to feel inspired. Guess what? Nothing changes if nothing changes. Your life can't change unless you make a change. And so, if this is something that you are interested in, I'm going to drop the link in our chat and you can take a look at this link, see if this is something that is going to align with you in this season of your life. And please know that on March 31st, a week from today, the doors to our free partner program are closing. So, as I said, we're looking for 50 women of action by March 31st. And we don't know yet when these doors are going to open again because we want everyone in on this cohort, everyone to be making waves of change around the world together in unison. You honestly, it's not difficult. You could figure it out on your own. But why would you want to do it alone when you have this beautiful community of women who want to do it alongside you? So check out that link. It'll also be emailed to you if you want to learn more. If you just can't click on it right now, don't worry. It's going to be free. Yes, it is free to join. Please. And the doors are going to close on March 31st. So apply now. It's a super short application. It's literally like one question in your name, basically. And I get the honor of looking through those applications. We're looking for 50 of you. And I see some of you, if you're asking me if you're on the list for the cohort, you're on the list for the cohort. I see your name. You've asked me. So you're one of the 22 I mentioned. I'm so grateful for you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to whoever invited you here. If you were like, I don't know who invited me here, we'll figure it out. You can always hit the support button on the Trades Hub website, message us on Instagram or Facebook, and we'll make sure that we connect you back. But please just know, if there's any part of you who's like, well, I like the earrings that Erin's wearing right now, or I was really touched by Erin's story, or I've been feeling really in a rut, whether it's with my closet or in my life. Please just know it's free to apply. We want you in this community, in this movement, because it is women exactly like you who have, for the last almost decade and a half, who have reached and transformed the lives of women rising out of poverty around the world. Women just like you. You are so welcome here. You are so you're not only so welcome here, but you're so celebrated here. It's If anything, I'm just so grateful our paths have crossed tonight. Erin Woods, any last words? Or are we feeling good?
Now I always love the platform to share. I've just become more and more. It's so interesting to me that like when I first started, it was like learning about job creation and understanding fair trade and human trafficking prevention. But like the fact that it's morphed into this like way to use style, it like just feels really authentic to me. And so it's such an honor to be able to share about that. And I would just encourage you, whatever the thing is that is connecting you to what you're hearing, just run after it. Like pursue your passion. Trades of Hope becomes a place where everyone can you kind of come at it from these different places, and everybody's got kind of the drum that they beat. And so if like style is not necessarily your drum, you can still learn and you can still grow from it, but then there can be something else that you want to bring into the table. But I personally believe that style is self-care. And so I just want to like commend all of you for giving yourself the gift of 45 minutes to really spend some time learning something that can really change your life and make a difference. And I saw some people commenting about like, I'm getting dressed tomorrow and I'm taking, can we do this every month? And it's so powerful because it's how we show up every day. And I will just say, like, as a woman who has struggled with getting dressed and things related to style for almost my whole life, I there is hope and there is community around that. And that when we give that gift to ourselves and to one another, then we become that stylish and confident woman that is an unstoppable force for good. Like I believe it, it's true, and just run after it, just chase after it. But thank you for taking the time tonight. Kudos to you. Good job. And you are enough to get dressed for every single day. Like give yourself a wink in the mirror at how cute you are. And don't worry if nobody else is going to see you. It's okay. You see you, and that's really powerful. So thank you, Elisabeth, for inviting me to do this tonight, and thank you everybody for joining us. So I'm really excited. I hope everybody joins the cohort.
Thank you, Erin. Thank you, everyone. I hope to see your name on the cohort list this week. Bye. Have a good night.